Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 7th of January. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Perseus Mining, Whitehawk, Cube, Australian Strategic Metals and Aurelia Metals. So if you have a request, send it through to me. Make sure you've signed up to all our newsletters. If you like these ideas, then make sure you're purchasing the Dynamic Investor. That's where I publish my best ideas for the week. But if you enjoy these videos, please share them on social media or even leave us a review. Remember, our core business is portfolio management. So if you want me to help you directly with your trading and investment, then please let me know. And any advice, of course, is general only. So we'll start with a daily chart of Perseus. So we had this sort of pullback sort of in the latter half of last year, but we did have some divergence here already starting to get underway on the RSI. So what I mean by that is the daily RSI bottomed out here at the end of October and started trending higher despite the share price making its low at the end of November. So that's known as bullish divergence, which often leads to a bit of a bounce. We're starting to see that now. I think that this strong move up here in mid-December, followed by this sort of slight pullback and good support here for a few days, that to me that was a bit of a buy signal. And we could see it heading higher, obviously volumes coming in. So look, I think this one should just continue to head higher. It's making its higher highs and lows. And, I'd be looking at a retest of these $1.60 levels. Okay, Whitehawk. So this one had been trading pretty well in the back half of 2020. So, impulsive move, sort of flat correction again, impulsive, flat correction, and so on. So the pullback here, instead of being flat, it was quite sharp, so that's a bit of a concern. It then jumped strongly, but instead of being smacked back down, it seems to be holding in there. So look, it is consolidating here now, which is a good sign. So it looks like anyone trying to get out at close to break even because it's near the old high is selling, but it's being met with buying. So it's consolidating, which is healthy. I'd use this white candle here, I'd use that as a bit of a range. So, if I was holding it, I think if it dropped under that, out of this consolidation range, I'd be using that as a sell signal. But at the same time, I think if it popped up here after a consolidation, I'd use that as the buy signal. Cube, so we could see that it's sort of traded like the market for this period of time. In November it jumped higher, but it's really underperformed the market since then. I think it's, it should really be up here. So not looking that appealing at the moment. Look, I'd rather be elsewhere. I don't see any need to hold this while, if we're going to get some strong moves on the market and in other sectors, I don't see why you need to be holding this. But if you want to stick with it a bit longer, I'd use this low here as the line in the sand. Even 280, really needs to hold above that. I think if it breaks down here, I'd use that as a sell. In terms of buying, I don't see anything at the moment. I'd rather it get out of this range, whether you do a diagonal line there or just look at the peak here. Either way, I think for a buy, you really need to see it sort of break through here first. Okay, ASM. So I actually covered this in one of my videos in early December, my stock watch video that I do on the Monday with FNN. So basically we're looking at the breakout here and the retest here being a buying opportunity, and we can see that it's rallied quite well since then. So we're already talking at least a 50% move just in the last month. At the moment now, it's consolidating again, sort of big day up here, and then it's basically consolidating that move. You know, I wouldn't want to see it sort of break under this, say, $6 level. If it did, I'd use that as the stop. And I think to buy any more, you'd have to wait for a breakout. So I think if it can break to a new high, that's where I'd be buying more of it. Okay, and AMI, so you know, downtrending the last 6 months. It does seem to be over now, so we've got sort of a movement up here in December where it took out this high, so we put in a higher high and then a higher low, and then some decent price action here. So we could see, zoom in, you could see that it's been closing on its highs here a few days in a row, edging higher. That's really bullish. I guess it gapped up here in a bit of volume, and then again yesterday gapped up on even better volume and basically closed at its high. So yeah, to me yesterday afternoon, this would have been, looking at that, I would have, you know, treated that as a buying opportunity. I think that price action was pretty bullish. So look, I think that it'll just continue higher. If it went back under 45 cents, I wouldn't want to be in that anymore. To me, this sort of price action suggests it shouldn't be dipping back under that. I think this one will make a swift rally, and it'll get back up here and then figure out what to do from there. All right, well, that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through.